What brought me to Foundation was I saw an opportunity to make an impact in the city of Trenton that needs good people and good teachers, and for me, the music aspect was a big part of it. Being able to bring orchestra and strings to Trenton and to expose the kids to that was a big part, played a big role in bringing me here. Foundation has prepared me for leadership in a number of ways. First of all, my transition from going from teacher to leader, I came here just straight out of college as a teacher. I taught for 2 years before really dabbling in leadership. I was asked by my supervisor, by my principal, if I had any interest, and I did express the interest of getting into leadership, coaching teachers, making a deeper impact on our instruction as a whole. And it started with, I just informally observed and gave feedback to one of our middle school music teachers. And again, informal setting, nothing about evaluations or anything formal. It was just to go and give feedback on lesson. And when they saw that I seemed to do fairly well with that, they gave me the next step, which was leading the music team. And then I did that for a year, and then after that they gave me the next step, which was then leading the grade level chairs at the high school level. But what they've done a great job here, the executive leadership, is they've always given me enough to push me, right? But not enough to where I was outside of my comfort zone and totally stressed out or anything like that. It was always enough to where I was growing, but that it was always constructive and never destructive. The coaching and development here is, far and away better than anything that I've experienced in my, relatively short time being in education. But first of all, they have programs for new teachers. Learning Teacher Academy is something that goes on for teachers that are new to the craft, that really want to hone those classroom techniques and build a positive classroom culture and a classroom structure. Then there's the next step, which is Learning Leader Academy, and those are for the teachers that have demonstrated excellence in their classroom and maybe are thinking about taking it to that next level of leadership. That is a great forum for that, and not everyone who takes that necessarily, they don't have to go into leadership, but it is a great way to start maybe looking at that next step. And then for those who have taken that step into leadership, there's Foundations of Leadership, which is, again, the next step. And that development is for current leaders, and it's really honing their leadership craft separate from their teaching craft, and really coaching teachers, giving feedback, establishing culture, and all those things really go into it. The advice that I would have for anyone who wants to get into leadership here at Foundation Academies would be to always be open to feedback and always constantly look to grow. We recognize, from 13-year veterans all the way, to brand new first year fresh out of college teachers, we recognize that we all have things that we can work on for the sake of our kids and to better our craft, because that's what our kids deserve. So that would be the biggest thing. My advice would be to be open to feedback and constantly reflect in order to just keep that growth going. My favorite thing about Foundation, that is a tough one, there's a lot. I'm biased being the leader of the music department. The music department is one of my favorite things about Foundation Academies. I think that it's unlike anything that we have in the area, we focus on strings, and it is mandatory for students, but the whole music program has become very aligned into as to what is it that we're teaching students, why are we teaching students what we're teaching, and how are we doing it. So that would be one thing. That's my biased thing, my most favorite. But in general, one of the things that I love most about Foundation Academies is the sense of community. Managers and supervisors and school leadership and first year teachers, paras, facilities managers, everyone, there's periods of time throughout the year when we all come together for the sake of honing our specific crafts for the sake of our students, but that really builds a sense of community. And as they say, it takes a village, raising great kids and bringing their inherent greatness out of them. So that community aspect is one of my most favorite things about this school. Everything from our professional development to staff meetings to programs for kids, both in school and after school, even everything right on down to our staff lunches and our facilities. Everything is done with so much care, attention to detail, that elevates everything and that makes it great, and makes it great ultimately for our students. And especially being in myself being in the music department, we strive for that greatness in our concerts and in the daily instruction that we give students, and pushing them really to achieve greatness. That's, in my mind, that's what our school is really all about.